So let's talk about retirement. It's a word we hear all the time, right? But what does it actually mean today? I can tell you one thing, forget that old picture of a gold watch and a guaranteed pension. That world is, well, it's pretty much gone. The game has totally changed. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why those old rules of retirement just don't work anymore, and more importantly, what you can do to build a future that's truly on your own terms.
So just for a second, close your eyes and picture it. What does retirement look like to you? Is it traveling the world, spending way more time with your family? Maybe it's finally starting that business you've always dreamed about. Whatever that vision is, one thing is for sure. It's probably going to be a much longer and way more active chapter of your life than it was for your parents or grandparents. So let's dig into why that is.
And hey, as we're going through all this, if you start feeling inspired to get your own plan in motion, I should mention our sponsor, retirementaihelper.com. They've got some really cool personalized tools to help you map out your journey. Okay, with that said, let's get into it.
All right, first things first, let's get a little perspective. This whole idea of retirement is actually pretty new. For most of human history, people just worked until they couldn't anymore. That was it. It really wasn't until the 20th century, when we all started living longer, that this whole concept of a post-career life even started to become a thing.
And you can really see how it evolved right here. It kind of started with these government safety nets, right? You had Social Security kicking off in 1935, and then Medicare in 65. But the real game changer? That happened in the 1980s. That's when the 401k came along, and boom, just like that, the responsibility for saving for retirement shifted from the company directly onto you, the individual.
And this right here is probably the biggest reason for that shift. We are living so much longer. Look at that, an extra 15 years of life if you're 65 today compared to 1940. And that is an amazing, wonderful gift. But it also brings a huge challenge. Our money now has to last for decades longer than it ever had to before.
So how did people used to think about funding all those years? Well, for decades, the go-to model was something called the three-legged stool. The idea was that it would give you this super stable, solid foundation for your future. The problem is, today, that stool is looking pretty wobbly.
The concept was actually pretty simple. Your retirement income was supposed to be held up by three main pillars, or legs. Leg number one, a guaranteed pension from your employer. Leg 2, a safety net from Social Security, and Leg 3, your own personal savings. And with those three things working together, you were supposed to have a secure, predictable income for life.
Okay, but here's the problem. Let's look at what happened to that first leg. Pensions. Those guaranteed paychecks for life from your job, they have all but disappeared. Seriously, in their place, we got 401ks. And what that means is that all the risk of saving enough, of investing it the right way, that is shifted completely from the company straight to you.
All right, so what about leg number 2, Social Security? Well, look, it is still an absolutely critical safety net, but it's facing its own set of challenges. The latest projections show that if nothing changes, by the 2030s, it'll only be able to pay out about 79% of the benefits people are expecting. Now, it's not going away, let's be clear, but it does mean we just can't count on it to be our only source of income.
So, what does that leave us with? The result is pretty clear, right? With those first two legs of the stool getting shorter and weaker, almost all of the weight, all of the pressure is now on that third leg, your personal savings. You are now the primary engine of your own retirement.
And this huge fundamental shift, well, it creates a totally new reality for anyone saving today. Let's just take a minute and look at the real practical differences between what your retirement journey looks like and what your parents had to deal with.
The difference is it's night and day. Your parents' generation, the employer took on the investment risk. They got a guaranteed income stream. We manage our own risk, and our income is whatever we manage to save. They were planning for a shorter retirement. We're planning for a marathon that could last 20, 30, even more years. And oh yeah, we have to do it all while dealing with healthcare costs that are just skyrocketing.
Okay, I know, this can all sound a little bit daunting, maybe even scary. But there is a really powerful upside to all of this, because with all this new responsibility comes something our parents didn't really have: total control. You are now the architect. You get to design your own future.
So let's just recap and make sure we're on the same page. These are the new rules of the game. Rule 1, you're living longer, so your money has to last longer. Rule 2, guaranteed income from a job is basically a relic of the past. Rule 3, Social Security was always meant to be a supplement, not your entire plan.
And what does that all add up to? The big takeaway is this: you are in the driver's seat now.
So where do we go from here? How do we move forward? It's really all about adopting a new mindset and, more importantly, taking clear, actionable steps to build the future that you actually want. So let's talk about what that path looks like.
Believe it or not, the path forward is actually pretty clear, and it's all about empowerment. Step 1 is just understanding these new rules, which, hey, you're doing right now by watching this. Step 2 is building that solid foundation. That means making saving and investing a consistent priority. And then step 3, this is the fun part. You actually get to design a personalized plan for the life you really want to live.
You know, when it all comes down to it, this is the most important shift in how we think about this. Retirement isn't some finish line you cross at age 65 anymore. It's not about an age at all. It's about reaching a state of readiness. It's about getting to that point where you are financially ready to have the freedom to live life completely on your own terms.
So the real question isn't just, can I retire? It's, am I ready to take control? You have worked so hard for your freedom, and now is the time to start planning for it.
And if you are ready to take that first step, a great place to start is by building your own personalized roadmap. You can head over to retirementaihelper.com, and you'll find all kinds of tools, calculators, and guidance to help you design a future you can get truly excited about. Thanks so much for watching.